Hi, I'm Chris Haig and this is the Fiddle channel, and today I'm going to give you some ideas about how you can recognize chords just by listening. Now, if you've been playing in bands for years, you will probably have a pretty good idea about how to recognize chords and not even have to ask what the chords are. But I know from teaching a lot of people that if you've come from a certain musical background, you might have no idea whatsoever about how to recognize a chord. And you will never really get to grips with playing backing or improvising if you don't have any idea about the chords. So in this video I'm going to assume very little technical knowledge as to musical theory, and I'm not going to answer all of the questions that you will have, but I'm going to give you some useful insights into how you can go about working out what the basic chords of a song are. One thing this will not do is help you find your way through Giant Steps or All the Things You Are or any of those difficult jazz tunes. So we're talking more here about the chords that you might hear in a country song or maybe an Irish song or some kind of pop song, or indeed a fiddle tune. But we're not going to go into minor 7 flat 9 or any of that stuff. You'll be pleased to know. So first of all, what is a chord? Seems like a daft question, but it's not that obvious. So let's take a look at the scale of D major. We give each of these notes a number. So the root of D major is D, and that's the 1. So that's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the scale. A chord is made up of the 1, the 3 and the 5. So in this case it's a D, an F sharp and an A. And also you might, if you're playing an arpeggio, play the top D. So a fiddle can't play 3 notes at once, at least not easily. But what we can do is arpeggios, which is root, 3rd, 5th and possibly 8th, which is the same as 1. So now let's just hear the D major scale played over a D chord and the D arpeggio. So you could hear how comfortably that arpeggio fitted over the chord, and being able to recognize the arpeggio that goes with the chord is really useful. And I think you should learn not only to be able to play on your fiddle, but also to be able to sing it. So da 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 da. It may not be in the right pitch, but you should have a go anyway, because you've got to have it not only in your fingers but also in your head. And the really good way to test a theory as to what a chord is by playing the arpeggio. You won't really know without an arpeggio, because you might have one of the notes right, which is within that chord, but it could be a different chord which also includes that note. Let's test this. Let's try now the C major scale, which goes. So, having played that scale, you should now be able to work out what is the C major arpeggio, and just try playing that. In case you're struggling, that's what you're aiming for. Now I'm going to play 3 chords, one of which is C. So you might be able to do it by ear, you might have to play a note on the fiddle, or you might have to play the whole arpeggio to check. So here are 3 chords. Okay, so that may or may not have been C. Next one. And finally. Okay, hopefully you will have spotted that the last one of those was in fact the C. That's what you were listening for. And I would say it's a very, very valuable thing to be able to listen to a song and work out at least what key it's in. And the key it's in is probably the chord that it's going to end on. That it's the chord that the song will feel settled when it reaches that chord. So if you think you know how to do it, try testing yourself against random songs that you can pull up on your computer or listening to the radio or whatever. You will need, unless you have perfect pitch, you'll need to play at least one note on your fiddle in order to get there. But eventually, after practicing this quite a while, you should be able to recognize the chord, the key of a song almost straight away, if you have a note on the fiddle to check it against. Okay, so at the moment we've been talking about major chords. So is a chord a major or a minor chord? A major chord or a major key has the third note is a whole step above the second. So we got whole step, another whole step. If it goes like that, whole step for the 2 and then a half step up to the 3, that's going to make it minor. So A minor, or, so that's A minor. E minor would be B minor, something like that. Okay, so now another little test. I'm going to give you 5 different chords. And the main thing to do is to decide, is it major or minor? And you probably shouldn't have to touch your fiddle in order to work this out. Incidentally, does it sound sad or happy? That is it's said to be one of the ways that you can recognize a chord, major or minor, because major is supposed to be happy and minor is supposed to be sad. Here's number 2, major or minor. Here's number 4. And finally. Okay, so for a bonus point, what were the actual chords? They were G major, F sharp minor, D minor, C major and D major. In any particular key, you will have a mixture of both major and minor chords, which initially might be a bit of a mystery. Let's just look at the C major scale again. If you start on the first note and make a chord, then that gives a C major. If you start on the second note and pick the first, third and fifth of that note, then you've got D minor. If you start on the third note and skip one again, then you've got another minor. And then start on the fourth one, you've got a major, and so on. So it's changing from major to minor, apparently fairly randomly, although I'm sure there's a much better explanation. So whatever key you're in, you're probably going to have a mixture of majors and minors. But a lot of songs will only have the majors because they'll only use the 1, the 4 and the 5 chords of a particular scale. Now when it comes to naming the chords, there's a thing called the Nashville numbering system, which is actually really useful, not just in Nashville country music, but in jazz as well. And indeed in any kind of thing where you're talking about the chords of songs. So the idea is that in any particular scale, what we've called if the key of C, then C major is the 1 chord, D minor is the 2 chord, and so on. And so by giving it a number rather than a name, If the song suddenly changes key, if the singer, for example, decides, no, that's too high, I want to go down, then you don't have to write out all the chords again, or indeed think of them again in a different way, because all you're thinking about in the Nashville numbering system is it the 1 chord, the 3 chord, the 5 chord, or whatever. So that's a pretty useful approach. Now, assuming you know what key you're in and what the first chord is, what's really useful is to be able to recognize how you get from the first chord to the next chord. And in a lot of, in almost all blues songs and a lot of country songs and all sorts of pop songs, we only really use the 1, the 4 and the 5. So what I want you to do now is to be able to count your way. It's like walking up steps from the 1 chord to the 4 chord. And I've got this little thing which I call the boogie in D, which kind of illustrates this. So first of all, I'll just play it, and then I will actually count the steps as we're going up and down. So I'm doing these kind of walking things. So we're going from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 8, 7, 6, 5. Now that was peculiar. Because we were going down from 1, I suddenly renumbered it as 8, which is the same thing. 8, 7, 6, 5. So you can move either up from the 1 or down from the 1. Moving up, as you D chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're doing here is it's like what a bass player would probably do, or a boogie woogie pianist might doom ba doom ba doom ba doom ba might do the same thing. So in your head you count these steps as you're going up to the 4, maybe up one more step to the 5, from the 4 down to the 1, from the 1 all the way up to the 5, or the 1 all the way down to the 5. So let's do it one more time. See if you can count those steps along with me. Starting on 1. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 6, 5. So if you know that a song is a country song, for example, and you know what the 1 is, see if you can find those steps to the other main chords. Hank Williams songs are ideal for demonstrating this kind of thing. Let's take Cold Cold Heart as an example. It has just 3 chords. Before looking at the music, just have a listen and see if you can tell me what key it's in. Hopefully you'll have spotted that it's in D major, which you can check with the D major arpeggio. So I'm going to play now the steps walking from one chord to the next. 1, So hopefully you managed to follow those. We're going from the D chord, the 1, down to the 5, which is A, up again to 1, up 4 steps to the 4 chord, up 1 step to the A, so listen all the way through the original of this or to my backing, and you should be able to say what the chords are, feel what the chords are, and either call them by their proper names, D, G and A, D, G and A, or they're 1, they're 4 and they're 5. And finally, listen to I Saw the Light, another Hank Williams song. Work out the key, what are the Nashville numbers and the actual chords. So I hope this made some sense, that you found it useful. If you managed to follow me all the way up to the end, then do go on and listen to a whole load of Hank Williams songs and go through exactly the same process. Work out the key, work out what is the 1 chord, work out where the 4 chords and the 5 chords are. And if you find any chords that are not 1, 4 and 5, then you're on your own, at least for this video. Let me know if you found this useful or just damnably confusing. If you want a copy of the sheet music of everything in here, then do email me. My email address is in the description, and I'll send you a free PDF. And if you want to join me on Patreon, that will very much help to keep these videos coming, and there are more similar videos on there and lots of other goodies that you may find useful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.